And we welcome you to the Prentice Awesome Heating Air Coaches Corner. John Dinkins here with head coach Floyd Walker of the Eagleville Eagles. And we're glad you're here, Coach. And another night in Eagletown, I guess. Always exciting, always a big crowd.
It was another good night. I believe we had a good turnout last night, and I appreciate everybody coming out to support our kids. And I'm excited that our kids had an opportunity to have some success on a Friday night.
You know, Coach, you got off to a really good start. I mean, and that's important. You put up 21 the week before.
Right.
And I know you were pleased with your offense, but I want to talk about defense. The big interception kind of helped a little bit in that cause. 42-0 was the final running clock. I want to talk about that for a minute too. But getting off to a start like that, and it helps the defense. Defense played well. What's your take on it?
I mean, anytime you can get off to a fast start, it kind of energizes the whole group. Offense, defense, kickoff team, kickoff return team. Because I thought our kickoff team set the tempo last night. I thought they covered really well, and when they closed on the ball, I thought they tried to be physical with the football carrier. So I think that kind of set the tempo. We got an early turnover, which also generated some excitement, and then we got a quick score on offense. So when those kind of things start to take place and the whole sideline becomes energized, it kind of starts to kind of mushroom out from end to end, and I thought our kids really enjoyed it.
Kind of a game of big plays too, wasn't it? I mean, Benton Fox, 3 of 4 for 3 touchdowns, 139 yards. That's pretty good stat right there.
Bad night for them.
Yeah.
I mean, it was some good completions. He threw a deep one to Marshall Fields. He threw a touchdown pass to Case and Puffer. He had another. Well, he may have thrown another touchdown pass to Case and Puffer too. But what we wanted to do is we wanted to try to spread the ball around, get the ball out in space, let the kids try to get one-on-one and see if they could be just playmakers. And it worked out well for us last night.
And Puffer had a kickoff return for a TD.
He had a kickoff.
So that had to be like the opening kickoff, was that right?
No, the second half.
Second half.
It was a kickoff.
That was the only score in the second half that you really, needed, I guess.
You know, once that happened to open up the second half, we were like, look, we're gonna start substituting kids. We're gonna let some of these younger kids get a taste of it, but we kind of left some of the starting offensive line in, and we started to substitute wide receivers, quarterbacks, and running backs. So a lot of kids got an opportunity to shine last night. So we're thankful for that experience that they got.
35-0 at halftime. I know we going into the locker room. What do you tell them when they got a big lead like that? I mean, because sometimes you can make mistakes or something at the beginning of the second half, maybe let down a little bit, but there was no letdown.
But there was a bunch of mistakes too. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how many holding calls we had last night, but I'm assuming right off the top of my head, I can think of at least six holding calls last night on us. We had got a little bit chippy, and the thing that we have to be able to do is we have to be able to maintain our composure throughout a ball game, especially when you're playing some type of quality opponent. So you cannot let it become chippy. You cannot let your attention waver about what you're trying to get done. So we got to clean that up from an aspect of, hey, if they want to get that way, that's fine, but your job is to make the plays, get back in the huddle, and move on to the next one. So we got to get back to cleaning those type of things up and just play good, clean football.
Talking to Floyd Walker, the head coach of the Eagleville Eagles, winners last night, 42-0. Let's talk about Benton Fox just a little bit. Sophomore now.
Right.
Have you seen the difference in the maturity level a little bit, or what's because he started to click at the end of last year, the middle part of last year. But have you seen the change in him a little bit?
You have. He's become a little bit more knowledgeable about what he's trying to do at the quarterback position. He's starting to recognize defensive fronts, defensive coverages. He's starting to understand, hey, let me just take what they give me. I don't have to try to be greedy. Just take what they give me. Once the people have the ball, let them go make plays. And he's doing a better job of distributing the ball around.
It's remarkable to see the change in kids, and Benton's one of them. Marshall Fields has been a kind of a go-to guy for a while, and he's not disappointed to this point. You when you have a game like that, your offensive line has to be doing a pretty good job. And I know some problems in the second half a little bit with maybe some of the youngsters coming in there too. But overall, I know you had to be pleased with that offensive line.
We thought that our offensive line and our defense line were going to be our strong suit this year. Those kids have played in a lot of ball games. Most of those kids are seniors. They've either been 2 or 3 year starters. Some of them may have been 4-year starters. But they're a group they're fairly intelligent. They can recognize defense. We got Dylan Harrington playing center, and he can identify different fronts, and the kids understand where blitzes are coming from. So when you have an experienced group like that, it's a plus for you because it kind of frees you up to do some things or make adjustments, and they understand what you're trying to get done when you do make those adjustments.
I've asked this, Floyd, to you. I've asked this question probably every time I've talked to you. But defensively, Eagleville just, I don't know what it is, but they get better and better as the year progresses, and had a shutout, a tough PCA team. They scored a few, but to be honest, that's just something that has always been in their DNA or something. But I guess coaching has a lot to do with that too.
It does. I mean, Coach Spann, Coach Peppinger, Coach Haley, they do a tremendous job on it. And it's one of those deals where defensively, the defensive staff has been together. Oh, let's see. I've been at Eagleville for 16 years, so Coach Spann has been there since I've been there. Coach Peppinger has been there at least 14 of those 16 years. Coach Haley played
since he was born. Yeah,
played in that system. So, and I've been the secondary coach since I've been there. So it's one of those deals to where we've been doing our defense for a long period of time. So everybody's pretty much on the same page, and we all know what the expectations are as far as, one, we want to try to be physical. 2, we want to try to get to the football, and third thing we want to do is we want to make sure that we're all on the same page and we just do our base job. So
what's the key? Why have they stayed so long? I mean, it's just a good place to be, I would think, is the only thing I can think of. I mean, I'm sure that they may have been offered some other places to go, but it's just such a great place to be at, and I can vouch for that. But it's just a remarkable how long tenured all of y'all have been together for so long.
I mean, it's the thing about it. Most of, like, the Coach Peppinger, Coach Spann, all of their kids attend Eagleville. All of their kids have graduated. They still have kids that are enrolled. Coach Spann's got a set of twins. Coach Peppinger's older or youngest daughter, I think now, is a cheerleader. I think she's a junior. So it's one of those deals where it's become like a family affair for them, and getting to watch their kids grow up and go through the process of, elementary, middle, and high school. And our kids in our school building are exceptional. I mean, they're very polite. They're extremely cordial when it comes to meeting any stranger. When you walk down the hallways, you feel like every kid in the building get along with whoever the other kid may be, wherever walk of life that kid may come from. So it's a unique place.
I wanted to mention too, and you may have, but Jonathan Jordan had a carry for 61 yards, a touchdown. I mentioned him.
Jonathan's ripped off another one. He had a long one last week, and he's doing a good job. I think we've got a good combination between him and Thomas Solomon running the football, and he probably needs to get a couple of more touches. And if the game hadn't went the way that it had, he probably would have.
I know when you get through with a game like that, I know you have to kind of, that was a great win, but you got to be ready for next week. And, you just kind of try to put that out of your mind after a bad loss, a big win. You kind of have to do the same philosophy, don't you?
What you want to do is you want kids to enjoy winning. Mm-hmm. I mean, winning's hard enough, and you don't want to make it any more difficult for the kids. So anytime that you can get a win, whether it's by 1 or whether it's by 30, you want the kids to enjoy it. You want them to embrace one another. You want them to be able to walk out of the building with a smile and joy on their face, and that's what we try to do. and then we'll tell them to enjoy it, and on Monday we'll try to put it to rest and get ready for the next one.
Some individual stars last week, and now I want to talk about that defensive unit one more time before we move on. A shutout is big. I mean, even when you bring in and the clock is moving and you've got in your younger kids playing, they want that shutout, don't they?
They do.
Yeah.
They do. And you want it for the older kids, for the starters.
Mm-hmm.
All right? You want it for the starters. You want it for the seniors. Because like you said, in this day and time, a shutout is very difficult to come by. And I thought some of our 2s and 3s came in and did a good job, because it wasn't like community took their starters out. They left their starters in because they're trying to establish a program.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a new coaching staff. They've changed offensive and defensive philosophies, and they're trying to get kids to understand how to play the game. So what you want to do is you want your younger kids to basically do the same thing that they're trying to get done. But on the flip side, you got to take pride and make sure that you don't lose the shutout for the starters.
The big night, I know, but it was over quickly. I know the second half went fast. The clock's moving. What are your thoughts on that? Do you like that, or do you? I mean, I see the reason for it, but sometimes it kind of you sacrifice getting some of those kids playing a little bit longer that they need to play.
Well, no, because what ends up happening, one, you don't want a game to drag on, and all of a sudden people are scoring, 70 and 80.
Yeah,
you don't ever want to do that to your opponent. You never try to embarrass a kid. If a kid wants to come out and play football and it's just not their night and it's not going their way and the game's getting out of hand, you want to make sure that you kind of preserve the integrity of it. You don't want to have a kid on the opposite side feel like they've been humiliated, and then you destroy that kid, and the kid no longer wants to play football. So I think it's a good rule. It only takes place in the fourth quarter.
Right.
So you have an opportunity that third quarter to get some kids in, and they have an opportunity to play like a normal game. But I think if it gets to the fourth quarter and it's out of hand, then yeah, I think we ought to just keep on letting it run. And
it enables you to, you want to see kids get a chance to play. And I don't care what anybody else says. Coaches want that too. I mean, it's not something that, we don't want them to play. You want them to get that experience, because it's for the next several years too.
The more a kid can play, the better off they're going to be down the road. So anytime you can get somebody some experience, you got to put them out there and let them get their feet wet, so to speak. And but it's still unfortunate that sometimes a game gets out of hand and the clock has to run for the opponent or for yourself. Because we've been in a couple of those,
You haven't been in many of those, but
it happens. But
yeah.
So when you've been on that side of it too, you understand that feeling, and you got to think about player safety. Think about player safety, and so if that clock is running and kids don't get hurt, then I think it's a good route.
Well, Floyd, we're going to let you go here in just a second. I did want to ask about the Tennessee Heats. You're not going to tell me anything about it because you haven't looked at any tape. I can guarantee you, right?
Yeah. What time is it right now? Hey, we just got the film exchange about 8:30.
Yeah.
All right, about 8:30. So when I leave out of here, I'll go home and I'll watch some of it. But we've played them, the past 3 years.
Yeah,
we've played them the past 3 years, and Coach Scott runs a first-class program. It's a Christian-based homeschool program, and the coaches really do a phenomenal job of trying to instill character into these young men, and it's always been they've always been a competitive group, and I don't see anything changing.
Now, where would that game be played?
It'll be played at the old Mount Juliet High School, which is now Mount Juliet Middle School.
So a little bit of a road trip.
Yeah, just
fairly long.
A road trip. It'll be the first one of the year, so we'll see how this team travels.
All right, that's. I think they'll travel well. I hope they will. Tell Kim I said hey.
I'll do it.
And we'll talk to you in a couple of weeks. You got to get those other two guys the next 2 weeks. So anyway, Floyd Walker.
Trying to break us up.
I know. The Floyd Walker, the head coach of the Eagleville Eagles. Big winners, 42-0 over Community last night. And this portion of the show is brought to you by IDIS Tees, who will be happy to help you fulfill all of your imprinted apparel, embroidery, and advertising specialty needs. Find out more at idstees.com. Now, I made a mistake, Floyd, so I've got to read another one. Because I was supposed to do that at the beginning. Rick's Barbecue, serving up the best smoked barbecue, ribs, and many local favorites on Warrior Drive, locally operated by Anne Marie Brents and the Lanning family. That's going to do it for the Prentice Awesome Heating and Air Coach's Corner. You always in the show, That's kind of special.
Say the best for last, right?
There you go. And we've got Cougar Corner coming up after this timeout.